It is true that I am Nick Shell. I know that you just subscribed to my channel about hair loss and psychology. This is the very first video you've watched since subscribing. So let's see if this is everything it's cracked up to be. Let's see if this is worth it. But for some reason, most people stick around. And I don't quite understand it. I'm really confused why people continue to watch my videos. But thank you. I don't think you're weird for doing that. I'm glad you're here. So I want to talk about hair loss and psychology as I pretty much always do. I want to talk about it as if it were almost like it were cancer. You know, forgive me, but I feel that it's almost a cliche when people say, well, they lost their fight with cancer. They're fighting cancer. I don't like it. I don't like the concept of fighting cancer because it seems to imply that that person, if they do pass away because of the cancer, that they didn't try hard enough. You know, whether they're on chemo or whether they're just changing their lifestyle and eating better, whatever it is. No matter what happens, if the person dies, then they lost the fight, that cancer won, that somehow that person wasn't strong enough. I don't like that. I do not accept that. But I feel, these are my emotions and feelings right now, I feel that it's almost like a lot of us treat hair loss the same way. You know, I made a video last week talking about how hair loss is not a disease. Now, yes, there are diseases in which it affects hair and may cause your hair to fall out, but that's not, hair loss in itself is not a disease. So I think on a similar note, maybe we treat it almost like it's cancer. like we're fighting hair loss, which is definitely a losing battle. At least with cancer, there are people who go into remission and no longer have cancer, and then they live many more years and life is normal for them. It's not that way with hair loss though. I mean, the best thing you can hope for, like let's say for my example, let's say that at age 36 and with my Norwood 3 and the thinning starting to kick in, let's say the best thing that can happen to me is that my hair loss just stops here. And I pretty much make it, you know, the next 30 years of my life before I really experience any more obvious hair loss. Let's say that that's what happens next. Well, that's a best case scenario. That's a best case scenario. It's not like it's ever gonna get better. So all I can hope for is that it doesn't get worse. And it's a possibility because as many people have pointed out with hair loss, that what happens typically is it lasts for something, I don't know, like 15 to 20 years. And then after that ends, you survived and you move on. But as for me, I started officially losing the process at age 18. So I'm 36, so like literally half my life I've been losing my hair. So what's funny is either this will keep happening a few more years and I'll be Norwood 4, and at that point I want to buzz it off anyway, or I luck out and it ends here, and I'm grateful to be able to have this, you know, for the next 30 years of my life. But if that doesn't happen, I'm completely okay with that. I've already made peace with that a long time ago anyway. But it is just funny though, that I think and I feel that a lot of us treat hair loss as if it were cancer. I've said in more than one video that I've learned that people fear hair loss more than they do death, which is crazy. I mean, because like, at least with death, none of us can know for certain what happens when we die. And like, assume eternity is attached to that. But you can go through your whole life not really thinking about that, but then you look in the mirror and every day, hair loss bothers you. Like, that's funny. So I do think that there's this death sentence we attach to our hair, and we do treat it like cancer, but it's a battle we can't win. If you're fighting hair loss, you're not going to win. There's no hope that it's going to get better unless you do something extreme. Like I obviously always point out, you can get your hair transplant and you can be at peace, but you're probably still going to have to go get it redone throughout your life. You can take drugs, which will work, maybe even have side effects, but that's not even the point. The point is they're going to work as long as you use them, right? It feels like everything there is to try to cure this hair loss ultimately is just delaying the inevitable. You're still fighting hair loss. It's still ultimately a fight that you're going to lose. And I think that that's why I found peace a while back, because I realized I'm not going to win this. I focus on what I can control, not on what I can't. There's not so much I can do to try to save my hair that I even care about doing. I look at it as a losing battle. I look at it as not an asset. I don't look at my hair as an asset. I look at it as a liability. So why invest in a liability? Why pump thousands of dollars in your car, which is going to lose its value, when you can pump that into buying land and then watching the value rise and then selling that? That's the way I look at it. I definitely feel that many of us are treating our hair loss battle like it's something we can actually have a chance at winning. No. If you're fighting hair loss, you're fighting a losing battle.